High in the rafters of a quiet cave, Benny the bat dangled upside down like every other bat in his colony. The cave was cold and damp, echoing with the soft rustling of leathery wings and the squeaks of sleepy conversation. Benny, however, was not sleeping. His wide, curious eyes blinked as he gazed toward the cave's entrance, where a crack of early morning light glowed like gold. Every evening, when the sun dipped and the world turned soft with shadows, the bats would awaken and fly out into the night. They would hunt and flutter under moonlight, using their sharp ears to listen to the sounds the dark world made. But Benny didn't love the night like the others did. In fact, he found it lonely. He had heard tales, whispered from old bats and echoed through cave walls, about a world bathed in colours, of skies that weren't just dark but blue, of trees that shone green, and of a bright ball in the sky called the sun that warmed everything it touched. Benny wanted to see those things more than anything, but bats didn't fly in the day. It was a rule. "Daylight is dangerous," warned Aunt Mura, who had raised Benny since he was a pup. "Our eyes aren't made for it. We belong to the night." "But how do we know," Benny had once asked, "if we've never tried?" The other bats had scoffed and gone back to sleep, but Benny kept wondering. One morning, just as the other bats returned from their nightly hunt and curled into the shadows, Benny stayed awake. The glow at the cave's edge was brighter now, golden and almost warm. A bird sang nearby, its chirp so cheerful it made Benny's heart flutter. That was the day he decided. With a deep breath, Benny unfurled his wings, felt the wind under them, and flapped toward the light. The brightness stung his eyes at first. He blinked, and then gasped. The world outside was beautiful. The sky stretched wide and endless, painted in blues and scattered with fluffy white clouds. Trees swayed with sunlit leaves. Flowers painted the ground in reds, purples, and yellows. Benny spun in a loop, laughing. The sun didn't hurt him. It warmed him, wrapping him in golden arms. He flitted past sleepy squirrels and watched a butterfly dance. He hovered over a stream, watching his reflection shimmer in the water. For the first time, Benny saw himself, his furry ears, his wide eyes, and the way the sun turned his wings almost silver. He didn't feel like a creature of the night. He felt alive. As Benny flew farther, exploring a meadow, he heard something strange. A sniffle, then a hiccup, then a soft sob. He followed the sound and soon found a small child sitting on a rock, wiping tears from her cheeks. Her backpack was dirty, and one of her shoelaces had come undone. "Hello," Benny squeaked, fluttering down and landing gently on a low branch. The girl looked up, startled. "A bat?" she whispered, blinking. "A bat in the day?" "I know," Benny said with a smile. "It's a bit unusual, but I wanted to see the world in daylight, and now I think I found something even more important." The girl sniffled. "I got lost. I went too far on the hiking path. My parents don't know where I am." Benny tilted his head. He didn't know much about hiking trails, but he knew the forest now. He had flown over trees, rocks, and creeks. He had seen a wooden sign with arrows pointing in 2 directions. That must have been part of the trail. "Don't worry," Benny said. "I'll help you." "You will?" The girl looked at him with wide, uncertain eyes. Benny nodded. "I've flown over this whole area. I can guide you back. Just follow my shadow." And so, Benny soared into the sky, and the little girl followed him through the woods. Every so often, he'd stop and make sure she was keeping up. He led her past the berry bush, over the fallen log, and toward the wooden sign he had seen. Just beyond that was the trail, and the sound of voices calling out. "Emma!" shouted a voice. "Mom!" the girl cried. From the trees rushed her parents, breathless and worried. They scooped her into their arms with tears of joy. "Where were you? We were so scared." "I got lost," Emma said, still holding her bat-shaped leaf she'd picked up along the way. "But Benny helped me," her parents blinked. "Benny." She pointed to the sky where Benny hovered in a sunbeam, waving with one wing. Her mum squinted. A bat in daylight? Emma smiled. He's not like the others. Benny gave a little flip in the air and zipped away, heart full and wings strong. When he returned to the cave that evening, the other bats were just waking up. You went out in the sun? Aunt Mura gasped. You could have been hurt. But I wasn't, Benny said. It was beautiful. I saw colours and rivers and the sky. And I helped someone, a little girl who was lost. The cave fell silent. You helped a human? Another bat said in awe. Benny nodded. She was scared, but I showed her the way back. Aunt Mura stared at him for a long time, then gave a little sigh. Maybe the day isn't just for birds. Benny smiled. From that day forward, Benny became known as Benny the Bright-Winged, the bat who flew in daylight and helped those in need. He still joined his colony at night, but he'd rise early too, eager to see the sunrise, to watch the dew glisten, and maybe, just maybe, find another way to be brave.